Now, what is so? Which ID are you using for the this thing? I think the first thing we need to talk about the choice of the ID. Is it IntelliJ ló ń lò àbí èwo ńbẹ̀? ID. Okay, PyCharm. So PyCharm ló ń lò báyìí. Okay. A lè lo we can equally use um, Visual Studio Code. So okay, me I don't have PyCharm. Let me try to use VS Code. Uh, Let me see. Oh yeah, tell me your experience. What did you understand? What is your experience about the Python syntax? You well, what I'm asking you, I'm going to start from the scratch for you. Majorly, what we want to do is we want to use Python, and a Python is a high-level programming language, and it's object-oriented, and it is a dynamically typed language. When we talk about dynamically typed language, we are talking about that when you declare all those data types, like in MySQL now, if you want to create your table, you declare the data type. Like if you are creating table, let's say you want to have a table that have let's say you want to create a table called employee with this column salary, name, email, and let's say DOB. So you declare the type of this to be date. You declare the type of this to be what? Varchar. You understand? You declare the type of this to be what? Varchar 2 or character, whichever one you choose. You declare the type of this one to be double. You understand? Are you there? Hallelujah. Okay. So now, when you now see all these guys in Python, you may not decide to declare the type automatically. So at runtime, when you pass value to it, it automatically determines the type of that value. That is why we call it dynamically typed language. You understand? So what we want to do is you can do a lot of build different kind of application with Python. You can build a web application. You can build a desktop application. That is when we are talking about web application, we are talking about application that run in a web browser. You can build a web application. You can build a desktop application. And when we talk about desktop application, one of the desktop application is this application that you just install. All those installable applications that you download and install on your system, they are the desktop application that you can build. Did you get it? And then you decide to say, okay, you want to build a service application, and those service application are the service are something that other people build a web application, but they still connect to your application to get data. For example, now I can make my Facebook data available in my application, or my Twitter. I can connect to Twitter API. So, and when we are talking about building a service, we call API. That's a application programming interface. So generally, we can use it for data science and for processing large data set. We can use it for data analysis for us to be able to analyze our data to a greater degree. So we are going to work and we are going to, but one thing is we can't cover the entire thing. What we are going to focus is we learn building web application, API, and app. So once you learn how to build this API in an app, so the knowledge you already have the 80% of the knowledge that you need for building every other one. Every other one are framework that you just need to study. You study, you go, you study, you go. Now, so when we talk about Python, they say Python, this one like just normal language that what Python can do. So the first thing it is expected that you set up a Python on your system, and I don't have you downloaded it? Do you have a Python installed on your system? So and when you have a Python installed, you can check that okay, Python version, sorry, Python version. So you see that you have Python 3. Me, I have 3.10. Now from your end, there is what we call another option you need to install, but that always come with a Python. We call it pipe. You can check pipe version. We use pipe to manage different kind of application dependencies like library, but we are coming to that. So once we install Python, there are so many things you can do with Python. I can come in and say Python. You see, I have access to Python command line. You understand? I can say print. I can say okay. Uh, um, Salary is equal to 5,000. You understand? I can say print salary. Can you see it? I can now say okay. Uh, Total salary is equal to salary plus 900. If I print total salary, you see it. I have access to. So if you want to do quick stuff, I can say print this plus this plus maybe you want to use some sort of direct calculator. Can you see it? You exit if you want to go. That is if you want to have quick access to Python. And when you want to test your program, we used to or usually come here to test. Now there are things you need to know. In Python, there is no need for when you are working, when you are writing code, you don't need to put a semicolon while you are writing code. Like and there are things you need to know apart from putting a semicolon. There is what we call a variable. You understand? Where it's what we call a variable, but we are going there, we are coming to that. There's what we call what? A variable. The name you give to an object is what we call a variable. So, but I don't want to talk much about the variable when I'm not talking about the data type. Let's first talk about the data type we have. You know, in normal MySQL, you have a data type. And this data type specify the type of data you need to have, you give to your object. So we have integer, float, double, but here we only have what we call number. Number is number. You understand? We have a string. We have a date. We have a boolean, which is true or false. But here you will see the data type as we proceed because we are going to stop at this data type. But you see, boolean is different from the boolean in Python. Is either true, which is capital true, or false. And we have so many other ones. We have complex data type. As we proceed, you see them. But in like, say for example, in other programming language, like in Java, if I want to work, if I want to declare the age of a user, I can such just I have to say age is equal to 10. I have to put semicolon. But in Python, you don't need that. You just say age is equal to what? 10. But take note, everything always give it a space. Give this one a space, give this one a space. You don't need semicolon at the end. You see, this variable, this name you give to it is what we call identifier. We call this name, this age, we call it what? Identifier. Or you can call it a variable. You understand? But this name, there are rules for this name. This name must not start with a number. I can't say age. I can't say 10 age is equal to 10. But I can say age 10. You understand? It cannot start to, it cannot contain dash. I can't say age dash. It will not take it. You understand? But it can contain underscore. I can put underscore. I can say underscore age is equal to, you understand? I can say salary is equal to 4,000. This is like this is just the convention for naming your variable. While you are working, there are times that you want to have a comment. I think I need to there are times you want to have a comment like in your program. We normally use this hash for comment. You know what comment is? More about the same way we have it in HTML. So you can have your comment like this. You can have it this way on top of this thing. You can have it in front. As long as you have this hash, you can put any comment. And we have this is another one. You see, you have have it this way, have it this way, have it this way. But we have multiple line comment too. So let me try to uh, I want to quickly do something. This my system is somehow dirty. A lot of things are there. So I have to open it in, so I can open it in VS Code. Like I want to open it in VS Code so that I will start working. So like in VS Code now, let me create a sample. Let me say uh, comment .py. So every Python file ends with what? Py. So when you are creating Python file, like Java now ends with Java. Like JavaScript now ends with JS. HTML now ends with HTML. XML now ends with, that is just like a file extension. You understand? So now let me say multiple line comment is possible with Python. I can say this is just a comment to explain the line of code. Uh, is pretty cool and easy to use. So if you come here, say print welcome to my world. So can you see it? You have to put Python so that it will run the file. You see that it doesn't print the stuff. So it doesn't print the stuff. It actually print the this guy. So that is all about comments, single line comment and multiple line comment. You can go ahead to do that exercise. um, I've explained to you. And when we talk about data type, assigning a variable, I've explained this to you. Now, we have a data type. We have a string. Let me, for example, string, right? So string, anything in double quote is string. That is in Java and JavaScript. But here, you can have a single quote for a string. I can say string, let me say first name is equal to, take note. In Python, take note, they don't use capital, they always use a lower case like this. Let me say, uh, you don't put a string, you understand? Just declare directly. And then you need to follow the indentation, because if you did not follow the indentation, it will assume that it's under that particular print. You understand? Now, if I say first name is equal to this, uh, I can equal say last name is equal to, uh, I can decide to put a single quote. So they are both acceptable. You get the gist. So now, there are times where you want to convert a string to integer, integer to string, and maybe it's a number you want to convert it to string. That is when they are talking about all this type conversion, type casting. You understand? Type of casting. For example, let's say you have salary. Let's say I say employee salary is equal to, I have it in a string. You know this is a string. But now let's say I want to add 15 naira. I want to add 15 naira to this bonus now. I have to convert it to number, because if I add 15 naira to it, look, if I decide to say, let me say, total salary is equal to employee salary plus 50. Let's print, you see what it will give us now. You see, did you see that there is error? Because you can't just, yes, because this is a number. So you need to, and even if you convert it, it will just say 50. The output, admit that it's even wrong, and we find manipulate it. The output you will get is this. You understand? It will just join it together. It will not do the evaluation. But all you need to do, you need to convert this one to what number. You understand that the content of this one is a double. We have float. This is a string. It's a string, but the content is number. You understand? So here now, you need to do type conversion. You have to say float, put it here, so that it will convert this string to a number. Then you can now use it. So if we run it now, you see that everything will be fine. Can you see it? It added 50. The same, likewise, you can convert something that is in another number, maybe in float, to what string, by just say string. If it is integer, if it is float, you do like this. That is what we call typecasting. You understand? And let's say we want to know the type, and there are times that you want to know the type of a variable. Let's say print, I can say I can say type. If I pass the identifier there, it will tell me that this one is a string. You see? It's telling me that the class is what? A string class. So if I input the type of this one, I just want to know which type is this one. It will tell me it's a float class. Can you see? Hmm. So if you have numbers in variables in string that you need to convert to this, you need to do some sort of what? Typecasting. You understand? Hmm. Whether double quote, I've explained. A string can take both double quote and then this identifier is a say case sensitive. You understand? If you put salary, let me say capital salary. Let me say, I put capital salary now. It has default this because we don't have anything like this lower salary. So it's a case sensitive. If you run it now, it will raise error. So it has to be the same case you use. Do you get the gist? So variable name. So go and read this one. I think we should still have another class this evening. Go and read this variable naming. Hey, they said you may decide to choose that you want to name like this. You understand? But if you are working, you understand, if you are working on application, if you choose one naming convention, that is the naming convention you should maintain all through. If you know that you want to use this camel case, the first letter will be lowercase, then fine. If you know that the first word, everything will be uppercase, uppercase. If you know you want to use underscore, snake case, like what we use in this file is what? Snake case. So always maintain snake case. Don't come here and say salary. It will take it quite all right, but it's a bad design pattern because you have to stick to one. If you know you want to use Pascal, you want to use the camel case, but I think Python use this snake case. That is what Python use for conversion. Java use camel case. C# use Pascal. So that is that one. Multiple assignment is possible with Python. You understand? I can say, did I have any salary here? I can say salary bonus total. I mean, employee name is equal to. Can you see it? Multiple assignment is possible. So if you assign this to this to this to what? This. Do you get it? So if I print, let me say employee name first. If I print salary too, you see that it will print all those stuff. Can you see it? So that's what they are saying, that you can have multiple assignments. They will all bear the same value. X is equal to Y is equal to Z is equal to orange. They will all bear the same value. I don't want us to go through this one first. When we get to, no, I don't want to go through this one. Go and read this one. I think we will still have another class today. Let me stop the video.